In an age of famine and despair, when hope seemed lost, could one woman's unbreakable loyalty rewrite the destiny of a nation? This is the story of Ruth, a testament to faith, love, and a providence that weaves through the darkest of times. The story begins in Moab, a land foreign to the people of Israel. Here, an Israelite woman named Naomi has lost everything: her husband and her 2 sons. She is left with only her 2 Moabite daughters-in-law, Orpah and Ruth. Bitter with grief, Naomi decides to return to her homeland of Bethlehem and urges the young women to go back to their own families. Orpah, with tears, agrees. But Ruth clings to Naomi, speaking words that would echo through eternity. "Where you go, I will go, and where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God my God." In this single, profound declaration, Ruth makes a choice that defies culture, tradition, and self-preservation. She chooses loyalty. She chooses family, not of blood, but of heart. She chooses a future steeped in uncertainty, guided only by love and a newfound faith in the God of Israel. Her journey is not just a physical one back to Bethlehem. It is a spiritual pilgrimage into the very heart of God's covenant plan. Arriving in Bethlehem at the beginning of the barley harvest, they are destitute. Naomi has lost her hope, but Ruth carries the weight of their survival. She goes to the fields to glean, to gather the leftover grain behind the harvesters. A provision made for the poor and the foreigner under Israelite law. This humble act of survival places her in the field of a man named Boaz. He is a wealthy landowner, a man of great standing, and, unbeknownst to Ruth, a relative of Naomi's late husband. Boaz notices Ruth immediately. He sees not just a foreign woman toiling in his field, but a person of extraordinary character. He's heard of her loyalty to Naomi, how she left her homeland and her family to care for her mother-in-law. Moved by her virtue, he offers her protection and provision. He instructs his workers not to bother her and to let her drink from their water jars. He even tells them to purposely leave behind extra stalks of grain for her to gather. This is no mere coincidence. The ancient Hebrew word for this kind of loving kindness is hesed. It describes a loyal covenantal love that goes far beyond simple charity. It is the very character of God Himself. In Boaz's actions, we see a reflection of divine favor, a grace that seeks out and redeems the lowly. Boaz becomes what is known as a kinsman redeemer, a male relative who had the responsibility to act on behalf of a relative who was in trouble, danger, or need. Naomi, upon hearing of Boaz's kindness, sees a glimmer of hope for the first time. A plan forms in her mind. A way to secure a future for Ruth. She instructs Ruth to go to the threshing floor at night, where Boaz will be winnowing barley. There, in a symbolic act of proposal, Ruth is to uncover his feet and lie down, placing her future in his hands. It's a culturally specific, risky act of complete trust. When Boaz awakens, startled, he finds Ruth at his feet. She says, "Spread the corner of your garment over me, since you are a kinsman redeemer." She is not just asking for marriage. She is asking for redemption, for protection, for a place to belong. Boaz, deeply moved by this second act of loyalty, choosing him, an older man, over younger suitors, promises to fulfill her request. He sees her not as an opportunist, but as a woman of noble character. Boaz acts honorably and publicly. He goes to the town gate, the place of legal proceedings, and redeems the land of Naomi's husband. In doing so, he also acquires the right to marry Ruth, to maintain the name of the dead with his property. He restores Naomi's family line and gives Ruth a home. Their marriage, is more than a simple love story. From their union comes a son named Obed. And the women of Bethlehem say to Naomi, "Praise be to the Lord, who this day has not left you without a kinsman redeemer. May he become famous throughout Israel. He will renew your life and sustain you in your old age. For your daughter-in-law, who loves you, and who is better to you than 7 sons, has given him birth." The story of Ruth culminates in a genealogy that is breathtaking in its scope. Obed becomes the father of Jesse, and Jesse becomes the father of David, Israel's greatest king. This means that Ruth, a foreigner from Moab, an outsider, becomes the great-grandmother of King David. Through her unwavering faith and loyalty, God weaves her into the royal lineage, the very line that would one day lead to the birth of Jesus Christ. Ruth's story is a powerful reminder that our choices, no matter how small they seem, can have an eternal impact. It shows that God's plan of redemption is for everyone, regardless of their background, their past, or their status. He sees the heart. He honors loyalty. He transforms stories of loss into legacies of hope. Through the darkness of famine and grief, Ruth's unwavering devotion illuminated a path of divine providence, proving that even in our most desperate moments, we are never outside the reach of God's redemptive love. Her life demonstrates that faithfulness to God and love for others are the threads that God uses to weave the most beautiful tapestries of history. If this message of faith and redemption resonated with you, subscribe to our channel and share this story with others. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so please leave a comment below. Thank you for watching.